Hello, dear friends. This step-by-step process is not for the impatient. Opinion piece. Gradual awakening. Slowly but surely. Black and white hats. Reaching the other shore. Enlightenment and Ascension. Let's start. According to Steve Biko, gradual ascension is like the frog in the pot of slowly boiling water. If the frog knew what was going on, it might jump out of the pot. If the process were too fast, it might panic, thinking that the changes mean they have a mental, emotional or physical illness. It has to be gradual and imperceptible. Enlightenment refers to a greater understanding and deeper knowledge in different areas of life, while Ascension focuses specifically on spiritual evolution and the raising of consciousness to higher state of being and existence. Thus, enlightenment can be seen as one aspect within the broader process of ascension. Ascension is gradual because it involves a process of this deep transformation that requires time, effort and inner work to overcome emotional and mental blocks, change limiting beliefs and expand consciousness. It is a path of personal and spiritual growth that unfolds over time. Enlightenment is also a gradual process because it involves a fundamental change in the way a living being perceives and understands the world. It doesn't happen overnight, but involves an inner journey of self-discovery, personal growth and transformation. Slowness. According to Archangel Michael, if I were to appear suddenly, my full presence would probably cause me to drop dead. But that is not our plan. I don't give you the fullness of my energy because it would blow up all your channels. But I bring it down enough so that you know it is me. You feel the energy and you feel it getting higher and higher and bigger. Also, if Michael were to utter my spiritual name, I would wake up and leave. That would end my soul contract, and they don't want that. Therefore, they avoid it by attenuating our enlightenment experiences. If you are in the process of expansion, you don't go from grade 3 to doctorate in a week. If all of us missionaries of light ascend too soon, many of us may leave the physical body. Bliss is what brings about realization, which is simply seeing from the higher level to which bliss takes us. Without bliss, we may as well be watching a spectacular movie. The company of heaven doesn't want us all to leave the party. Therefore, they have to give us enlightenment to keep us here, as Michael confirmed. Our enlightenment experiences are directed by a team from that side. Every process has a guardian angel and usually an archangel. Everything is working slowly. It has to be so for all of us to reach what Buddha called the other shore, not individually but all together. As we committed in 2012, we could have gone then and a fraction of the population would have ascended, but instead we asked to be given more time to bring many more of the population. Definition. Enlightenment refers to a state of greater knowledge, wisdom or deeper understanding. It is an awakening or revelation that can occur in different areas of life, such as intellect, spirituality, creativity or self-knowledge. Enlightenment involves an expansion of consciousness and a clearer perception of reality. It may be associated with moments of clarity, cognitions, visions or epiphanies, where a profound understanding of truth is achieved. Ascension, on the other hand, relates more specifically to spiritual evolution and the elevation of consciousness to higher states of being and existence. It is a process of personal and spiritual transformation involving growth and expansion of one's consciousness, as well as connection to higher planes of existence or a higher reality. Ascension is a gradual path of inner development and change, which may involve emotional healing, release of limiting patterns, expansion of consciousness, and a greater connection with one's life purpose. The reason of why ascension is gradual is because it takes time and effort to make the necessary changes on an inner level. Personal and spiritual transformation doesn't occur instantaneously, but involves an ongoing process of exploration, self-reflection, emotional healing, and skill development. Ascension may also involve overcoming challenges, limiting beliefs, and negative behavioral patterns. These aspects may require constant and gradual work to release and transform the emotional and mental blocks that prevent us from rising to higher states of consciousness. In addition, ascension is often associated with expansion of consciousness and connection to higher planes of existence or a higher spiritual reality. This expansion of consciousness also occurs gradually as our perspective broadens and our understanding of the world and ourselves expands. Reset News. Storm Rider says there is a battle between black and white hats over extraterrestrial declassification. Zimbabwe has devaluated its current exchange rate. Zimbabwe has just moved to a policy of trade liberalization. This reduces barriers to trade between countries, such as tariffs and quotas. Bangladesh is adopting a similar policy to Zimbabwe, where it will allow the market to determine its new currency exchange rates. Jared Rand conference call. The old structure is destroying itself. The programming was to condition us to fear. There are forces of planet Earth that are not from here. People have not come together to free the Earth yet. We will have human extinction if we don't do something about it. They are going to try to start a new journey, but it will be prevented by the white hats. It will be our responsibility to have babies in a loving environment on the new Earth. There is going to be a lot of false gains in the future, in the coming months and years. The dark side destroyed half of the food, but there is plenty in storage. Breaking news. The 4 children missing 40 days after the plane crash in Colombia are found alive. Honduras applies to join the BRICS New Development Bank. The mayor's office in Paris offers residents to live with rats. Activists denounce a rise in the number of assisted deaths in Canada. Remains of 450 vampires found in a grave in Poland. Cosmic radiation. Energy update June 9, 2023 by Alice. For the past 24 hours, we have been under the effect of an increased amount of incoming cosmic radiation. You may be feeling a lot of activity in the crown chakra and different sensations in the brain, a stronger heartbeat, which is not like the palpitations caused by geomagnetic storms. It is simply a heartbeat with more resonance. I felt it in the form of insomnia. You can also feel shivering, tiredness, hunger, sweating, buzzing, etc. These are just signs that Gaia is going through a process of expansion, not an omen of future disasters. The War Fraud by Anna Maria Riethinger. Any fool can adopt war as a model of life, and many have done so. These men mistakenly conceive of themselves as soldiers or warlords in a state of constant war against a sea of enemies. We have lost our way and our sanity when we allow commercial competitions to turn into violence and mercenary conflicts, which are never political or legal in nature. These conflicts are usually stimulated only by self-interest and greed, and are used to abstract trade or manipulate the supply of commodities in order to create an unfair market advantage for the perpetrators and their accomplices. This is why mercenary trade wars are illicit and illegal. This is why mercenaries are traditionally highly paid and considered dishonorable. We will form a more conscious awareness of a much broader vision of what is and should be the true self-interest of humankind, a vision of love, inspiration and generosity, which will enable human beings to live in peace and prosper without the doctrine of scarcity, which has been said to explain the symptoms of inflation and economic instability, unjust enrichment, illicit conversion, personal crimes and political tyranny. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.